here, sir.
All right, send them in. My three big, lovable clowns. Nothing quite as much fun as breaking up English pubs. All right, I have had it with you. Last night you cut your own throats. If I wasn't so short on men, you'd sit this one out in the guardhouse. When we get back from this one, I'm going to put you three on a very special work detail. I am going to restrict you to this base for the duration of the war, and otherwise make your lives miserable. I will teach you how to conduct yourselves as officers and gentlemen. It is the last thing I do. And you're going to have all day to think about this, too. The Piccadilly Lily took too much flack yesterday, so I'm driving your airplane today. And since you haven't yet been able to identify who the enemy is, I'm going to point him out to you. From now on, it's me.
12 o'clock high. A QM production. Starring Robert Lanson. With guest stars Alf Shalene, Donald Herron, John Van Drielen, James Ferrantino, and Peter Haskell. Tonight's episode, POW Part 1.
Pilot. Fighters at 9 o'clock. Fighters at 9 o'clock. Looks like the whole German Luftwaffe.
Roger. Blue Robin 1 to Red Robin 1. Close up your formation. They're all over the clock.
Let's go! All in! Come on, lads, pep it up! Be quick about it! All right, lads. The Yank out there with a star on his shoulder. Spruce up a bit. What buttons you have, use them. Let's give him a sharp formation.
Looks like these boys got themselves a lot of grit.
I wouldn't say grit paid off very well. It was a pretty busy cemetery we passed on the way in.
Action! Done! Correct. I have every right to speak to the general. He's the senior prisoner of war now. I wish to turn over command of the men. Correct. Lost! And on! Hi! I am Captain Staufmann. I will take care of your men. The commanding officer will see you now. Do you not hear what I say?
Captain, I would have to be deaf not to hear what you say. I was just wondering if the German army has so many problems now that it has discarded the military courtesy of a salute. Captain.
And Staufmann, grüßen Sie!
I have been looking forward to your arrival, General. And in the first 3 minutes you are here, you do not disappoint me. Would you come with me, please?
Thank you.
Attack! Stop! Dismiss!
You see him turn that cabin inside out? We stick with the skipper, old buddies, and we're gonna be busting right on out of here.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, Doc, you bust out of here. The way I see, with all this action, I'm folding.
Come with me.
For your information, General, this is Stalag Luft 12. It contains some 1,000 American, British, and French flying officers. Captain Staufmann, whom you met, is second in command. I am the commanding officer. Your treatment will be in direct relation to how you obey the rules and procedures that I've set up here. The first has to do with your own confinement. It is my policy to keep high-ranking officers incommunicado for a period of time. After our meeting, you will be so restricted. Won't you please have a seat? My name is Max Richter. I'm a colonel in the German Luftwaffe. And to quote a recently censored letter from the group Captain Braille, I'm a German officer who wears an iron cross above a heart that apparently holds some inner and unexplained bitterness. The British love to be analytical. Well, now, General, let me hear about you.
Colonel, you have my name, my rank, and my serial number. There is nothing more.
Such modesty, General. You're a well-known and respected man to me. In fact, I've flown against you in the 918th on numerous occasions. That's why I was looking forward to your visit. I've been here at this camp for almost 4 months now. Until I arrived, it was notorious for its successful escapes. There have been none since I came. It's like dealing with children, General. They all come up with their ingenious little plans for escape. Then I checkmate. Sometimes at the cost of many lives. I'm expecting things to improve now that you are here.
That will be all, Colonel.
Oh, I'm afraid you misunderstood me, General. What I said was not a veiled order for you to see that these attempts are halted. First of all, I know that you would never give such a promise. But more importantly, I would not want such a promise. From what I've heard, you're not the type to sit out the war in a place like this. You're fully capable of being a challenge to the best of men.
And you enjoy such a challenge, is that it, Colonel?
Exactly. One might say that between the two of us, the war is starting off all over again. But in a war, there's only one who wins. In time, we shall find out which of us that shall be.
No one else can reach the window without a pair of stilts. Bullseye.
Come on, let's get on ahead.
Hold it. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Now. Fire! 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 Fire!
Captain Morris Braille, His Majesty's Royal Air Force.
Good, Captain. What's going on out there?
One might call it a diversionary tactic. Since Colonel Richter continues to hold you incommunicado from the rest of us, this was the only way for me to see you.
You mean you? Come in. Sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Kind of dangerous for sneaking in like this, Group Captain?
When you've been here as long as some of us, being thrown in the cooler, sir, becomes little more than a way of life. Besides, I did think it important we talked. First of all, to bring you up to date on things, let us start with Adolf here. He is the camp liaison.
Hello, Adolf.
Our officer in charge of woodworking has carved silent whistles for our key personnel. It took I don't know how many Red Cross rations to teach Adolf the trick. Now he simply won't touch the German camp issue of donkey meat.
How does he carry the messages?
The Germans serve us beetroot waste, which they call a jam. Thoroughly inedible stuff, but it makes a marvelous glue. We put it on Adolf's undercarriage to hold the messages.
By the way, how did you know we were coming this morning?
We have a most remarkable intelligence unit, General. Knew of your arrival moments after Colonel Richter got the news.
Well, I'm very impressed, Group Captain.
And now for the main reason I'm here, sir. 2 nights from now, some of us are smashing out of this place. This attempt must succeed. Everything depends on it.
Why is this one more important than the others?
The men are about at the end of their rope, General. We're dealing with no ordinary jailer now. Colonel Richter is a fantastic tactician. We have a number of graves to prove it. One more failure, and I think the men will give up hope.
No, they can't stop trying the escapes.
Precisely, sir. It looks as though Colonel Richter plans to see that you suffer no discomfort. Now, with your permission, sir, Adolf and I shall push off to the back window. I think this explains Colonel Richter's keeping you incommunicado. He was trying to find a way of dealing with you. As I said, sir, he's a splendid tactician.
At ease, man. Well, good evening. Colonel Richter finally decided to let me out of quarantine, so I thought I'd drop in and get acquainted. Also, Group Captain Braille told me about your escape plan for tomorrow night. I'd like to hear more about it.
Certainly, sir. Can't risk Jerry bursting into this stage of the game. Would security please take over?
All clear.
Of course, it will never replace New York's Lincoln Tunnel, but it will get us on the other side of the wire and the wall.
What happens then?
The tailoring officer has simulated some workman's clothes for us. Once we're out, we change, make a go for it.
What about ID cards, ration cards?
The very best. I defy an expert to detect the difference. I can see that the general is not impressed with our plan.
Look, from what you've told me about Colonel Richter, from what I've found out for myself, I think you're underestimating him.
You are the commanding officer here now, sir. Are you telling us to abort the escape?
No, of course not. You all put too much work on it. The escape was planned before I got here. I wish you weren't going to try it. But you're committed to it. So good luck. I mean that.
Drop and hut.
That is.
Maybe if he wanted to get out of here, he'd find something good about the idea.
And what is that supposed to mean, Charlie?
What is that supposed to mean? They should treat you like they're treating him. A private suite at the Ritz, hot and cold running food. The guy's got it made. If it were me, I wouldn't be in such a hurry to go back and get shot at again, right?
Wrong. You're bright. You're real bright. Remind me when we get back to take you out of Flatbush. Don't you know that's the Colonel's way of giving us the needle?
I know it, and you know it. But him, I'm not so sure about.
Morning, General. It was nice of you to accept my invitation. General, I'm concerned for you. All this scenery, still you seem to lack interest in its beauty. And I understand you have not eaten all the splendid food that is being served to you in your quarters. Surely you can't prefer your Red Cross rations.
Colonel, I only came on this ride because it was the only way I could get you to release those prisoners from solitary confinement. Now, what do you want from me?
Your stimulating company. To complement a stimulating drive through the country, that's all I ask.
Don't play games, Colonel. You're only interested in my comfort, including this ride. Is to build the image of a senior officer who is afforded better treatment than his men. You're hoping it will damage my effectiveness in command.
And you have no fear of that?
No, Colonel, none.
Drehen Sie oder wir sind zu spät.
Oh, the coffee that they give us, they say it's mighty fine. They make it out of acorns, it tastes like iodine. Oh, I don't want no more of prison life. Hey, Ma, I wanna go. Yeah, Ma, I wanna go. Hey, Ma, I wanna go home.
I have called your men together since the escape was within your group to show you the futility of such attempts. The survivors of the escape will be put on half ration for 1 month. The remainder of you will be confined to barracks until further notice, with the exception of General Savage, of course. Heads, hut! Dismiss! General. I'm sorry about the death of those 2 men. But as I told you, General, I'm a thoroughly predictable man. Since my arrival at this camp, 8 attempts at escape, 8 failures.
It was too easy for you, Richter. It was too smooth.
During my first week here, I had underground microphones placed so we could monitor such an attempt. We heard the digging sounds from the start.
And you let those men go through with it.
Destroy a man's morale, and you have destroyed the man. Our private war has finally taken form, General, and I have won the first battle. It would seem it is time for you to retreat and regroup your forces. Assuming you still have forces to regroup. General?
you are, gentlemen. Full boat.
Oh,
kidding. Hey, Moxie, how about selling me 100 cigarettes?
Sure, Smitty store's always open. I'm happy to say I have nothing but satisfied customers.
Oh, brother, how do you do it? Yankee ingenuity. That'll be $5, please.
Yeah, $5?
Last week it was only $3.
Law of supply and demand, Smitty. Last week the Red Cross supply just come in.
You know, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Hoarding cigarettes like that. It's not American.
Who hoards? I trade with the German guards.
Look at that.
Oh, my.
Look
Now,
at thief.
gentlemen, these items are also for sale. Binoculars with Swiss ground lens, cigarette lighters, and fluid that light. Thermos bottles to keep that delicious drink the Germans laughingly call coffee warm on cold nights. Now, how about some action? We work on an easy credit plan of small installments per week of 5 cigarettes. With a small carrying charge, of course. Any takers? No? Deal.
Hey, what?
As you were.
How about 100 cigarettes on credit?
You got it, Clark. Just put your IOU there.
Moxie, you never left the base.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Staff is here, as you requested.
Well, thank you. Gentlemen, first of all, I want you to know how sorry I am about the escape.
I know that, sir. We're sorry, too. The men have pretty well had it. They've no more stomach for trying to outwit Colonel Richter again.
Oh, no, we'll try again. And not just because the Geneva Convention says it's our duty to try, but because it's the one thing that can keep us all from going crazy. It provides absorption, risk, and most of all, some kind of hope. So, gentlemen, we're going to plan escapes the way some people buy sweepstakes tickets. Not because they think they'll win every time, but because of the chance we might.
All of what you say is true, sir. But as we've just discovered once again, Colonel Richter is no ordinary jailer.
All right, then we'll have to be something besides ordinary prisoners, Group Captain.
Due to your attempt at escape last night, you were fully aware that you would be confined to barracks until further notice. Any further display of such enthusiasm for your bomber force will bring about immediate execution.
Well, what do you think of it?
The plan's ingenious, all right. But requiring such precision, all to be done so quickly.
Yeah, well, it's got to be done fast before there are any changes in camp routine. Now, I think you can be stretched to accommodate 5 men and a leader. 5 men I can absolutely trust.
There's the problem. On 2 attempted escapes, we know we were informed against. But we've never been able to discover who the informers were. When you're on crew, sir, they've got to be all right. They've just arrived.
Now, surely in a camp this size, there must be other men we can trust.
Well, there's Flight Lieutenant Forrester. I'm sure he's safe. Holds the camp record for attempted escapes. And then there's that American chap, Regis. I'm sure of him. There's your 5?
Let me think about it.
Colonel's sending his car for you. Time for your morning drive together. General, the men know what Colonel Richter's up to in granting you these special privileges, but it's finally starting to get to them. Their help won't be easy to obtain.
Well, that's a chance I'll have to take, Group Captain.
Yes, sir.
Saying, General. General Savage.
Yes, what is it, Colonel?
You were telling me about your Robert E. Lee of the Civil War. I still don't understand how a man who turned from his commander-in-chief could be considered a hero by his nation.
Well, it's going to take a lot of explaining, Colonel. We're just about out of time. Why don't we continue that tomorrow?
Very well. You know, this is a pleasant bit of irony. Here these rides were to be a bit of tactical chess between us. Still, I'm finding them quite enjoyable.
Well, they've been very interesting to me, too, Colonel.
You are a refreshing change, General. Until our meeting, I've always found the American fighting man to be a caricature. The lovable boy next door who jerks sodas in the neighborhood drugstore and joins the ranks out of love for God and country, rather than pride and understanding of the military.
Those boys next door have been giving you a lot of trouble lately, haven't they, Colonel?
Wer lesen sich zum Tage zurück? Those men were warned about leaving their barracks. Take charge. Die Männer sollen erschossen werden. Auf, Mann!
They're gonna shoot him down.
Hold it! Fertig! Warten Sie! Halt!
Present when I ordered that any man entering the exercise area during an air raid alarm would be shot.
That's right, Colonel. I was there. Now the question is, are you going to do it?
General, don't misconstrue our camaraderie that we have enjoyed as a sign of compassion.
Oh, I don't, Colonel. These two men are junior officers. I'm sure you'd shoot them without a second thought. That might even be overlooked. But how would you cover it up if you shot me, Colonel? Generals are supposed to be valuable hostages. Your chief of staff calls us prominent person. There'd be a lot of questions, Colonel, and I don't think you could answer them. Your own officers would be saying, Colonel Max Richter is incompetent. He can't stand face to face with an American general and hold him without shooting him. And you kill us. Right now. And you've already lost your private war with me, Colonel.
Lassen Sie ihn los.
Herr Ober! Lassen Sie ihn los!
General, looks as though you'll get your help after all. All the help you will need.
That's a ledger like in a business, huh, Moxie?
Baby, I am in business.
Man, you found yourself a regular money tree, haven't you?
It's a law of nature. Man must adapt to his environment.
Here he is.
Hey, halt! As you are. Come on in, gather around the table. Let's go.
I've assembled all the tailors, tinsmiths, arsonists, spotters, all you've asked for, sir.
All right, good. Now, hear this. We'll make the break tomorrow morning at 0900.
What? Sir! That leaves us so little time.
That might be the only chance we get. Colonel Richter has invited me for one of our usual morning rides tomorrow at that time. Now, if he decides that showing me special favors isn't hurting your morale, he could cut the rides out altogether. And that would stop us cold. So that's it. Group Captain Braille will tell each of you what we need from you in the way of your help. Will we have it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now, we've all got a lot to do. Let's go do it.
Oh, I know. Hold it.
Any of you men ever, jerk sodas in a neighborhood drugstore? Yeah, I thought so.
You think of it. You think of it next time. You sell me 100 American cigarettes and 50 of them are Turkish.
Told you, I'll make them good.
You will make them good, all right. I see you tomorrow after breakfast. Go back to your pants.
Here he comes. Come here, let me take a look at you.
I told you you'd con the wrong guy just once too often, Tyrone.
Oh, Melvin, you gotta give me some of your flatbush logic and tell me crime doesn't pay.
Hey, a real German military ID. Where'd you get it?
I lifted up the hard loser who worked me over. Thought it might come in handy on a tour of the German countryside.
Hey, you guys, look at this. Look at this. Huh? It's the best alteration of a GI uniform yet.
What do you chaps think of this? It's nothing, really. A little cardboard, some flannel, and some other odds and ends. Art department, can you give us 6 more insignias like this?
Sure can. As soon as I finish these buttons.
Yeah. Hold that there till the swelling goes down.
There's one very bad snag left. Unless I can convince Richter that he should release the men from barracks custody. If I can, then we're all set. Is something bothering you, Group Captain Braille?
Kidnapping a German officer is rather different from digging a tunnel. Should the escape fail, Colonel Richter would have every right to have you executed.
I know it. But Colonel Richter is the key to this plan. So I'll just have to risk that.
Very well, sir. We'll give you all the assistance we can.
Thank you. Hi, Doc. How was the chow tonight?
Well, the roast donkey was better than usual. They might have even cooked it in a wine sauce.
Listen, don't knock it, Doc. That may be the last hot meal you'll have for a long time.
You really believe that you can pull this off in Colonel Richter, sir?
I don't know, Doc. I just know I gotta try it.
You know, it's funny. The more you learn about these escape attempts, the more they take on a kind of Faustian pattern.
How's that?
The POW CO, the Nazi CO, God and the devil locked in mortal combat over each prisoner's right to retain his immortal soul.
Immortal soul is not bad, Doc. You ever read much Faulkner?
Yes, sir. As much as I could lay my hands on.
Yeah? How about this? I believe that man will not merely endure, but that he will prevail. Man is immortal, not just because...
Man is immortal. Not only because he alone among all creatures has an inexhaustible voice, because he has a soul, a spirit capable of compassion and sacrifice and endurance.
Yeah, that's it. So if only one of us gets back, it'll be worth it. And it'll make others try again.
You! Keep moving. Back into the bags.
Good night, sir.
Good night, Doc.